Okay, so welcome to another Wednesday Team Prosperity meeting. This is a weekly meeting that we go through every Wednesday to help your business immediately start to, come out of this meeting with some ideas and some things that will improve your business. We'll let a few more people in here. All right. So, when we talk about the fact that we're into the late part of January now, so we're into the year, you guys should be into a rhythm of activity. The people that you're speaking with should be out of the holiday mentality back to kind of a normal environment, so to speak. Obviously, there's some things going on around a macro level that we can't control, but we do control, our activity every day, our attitude every day, and the things that we need to make sure this business is going to do what it needs to do. 12-week year, guys. We got a very small group starting this coming Monday. We did that purposely. We're going to work with you guys one-on-one if you're in that group to make sure this quarter transforms your business into something that wherever it is, if it's at the beginning stages, we get the traction. If it's in later stages, we get the velocity. Last week, we talked about several things: networking in the common market, what that means, how to do it, best time to ask for reviews and referrals, forming strategic partnerships by disqualifying people on both sides of the fence, partner and client, learning how to live your brand, why that's important, why creating momentum is so powerful in your business, or the lack of momentum is so devastating to your business, and understanding roadblocks and which ones are actually red flags, with any given part of your business. All of these, like we talk about, are recorded in the YouTube channel, in the Facebook group, emailed out to you guys for review. Disqualification is so important. And the more that you start to use disqualification in your business, the easier that your business gets. Because in the beginning, we try to pre-qualify, qualify everybody. Our arms are, wide open, our doors wide open. That's not the way we want to run our business, because in that scenario, we can work really, really hard with little to no result. So we want to talk to people in our persona that we know that we can help with a message that's going to resonate, gets them into whatever it is, the education meetings, and then so on. So disqualifying people, even if it's 30 seconds in the conversation, it's one of the greatest skill sets that you guys can learn and pick up and develop, because guess what? That time that you're not wasting with prospect A, when you get to prospect B and that person is in your persona, got that extra time, energy to put into that conversation. So this week, guys, we're going to make this real simple and real quick in terms of what we're covering. We're covering the 4 pieces of your business model. All 4 of these equals mastery of the business model and equals a lot of income coming from several different directions. So number 1, marketing. Number 2, sales. Number 3, management. And then finally, distribution. All of these parts of the, each one of these quadrants, has its own responsibilities, has its own activities, has its own thing that you need to, in terms of the learning curve, understand going into. But the good part about our business is we have a virtual assembly line. So we can break this stuff down, pass off the roles that we don't feel like doing, don't want to do, don't have the time to do. But we're also not boxed in. We can grow into these other roles as our organization, our business gets bigger. So let's break these down. So marketing. No matter what we choose to do or not to do, marketing is one of the things that we have to do. So, marketing is, lead generation. Lead generation is the lifeblood of the business. If there's no leads coming into your business, I can guarantee there's no backside revenue or income. So when we break down marketing, what are we really talking about? Well, first of all, you need to understand that whether it's traditional marketing or digital marketing, it's all about the same thing. It's all about going out, having activity, having communication, conversation, whether that's through social media, on the phone, it doesn't matter. Both sides, traditional and digital, even though we're a technology company, both sides of this works really well for marketing. And one of the things that you have to help your partners understand is if they come in with little to no online or social media presence, that's not going to grow overnight. So what they have to do is they have to go to the traditional side, work on the digital side to the point they can extract value out of there. Somebody has little to no online presence and they come in and that's all they want to concentrate on. Well, guess what? That's going to be a very slow road to results. And we already know what slow road to results does to us mentally. it just, it deteriorates our energy and our time that we put into the business, and eventually we quit. So understand where your new partner is and what they need to do to get the best possible results coming out of the gate, because there has to be a commitment. Are they willing to do that? If not, then once again, disqualify. So inbound marketing and outbound marketing, this has nothing to do with traditional or digital. This is about how the lead generation is happening. Outbound marketing simply means that you're manufacturing the demand for the product, the service, the education, meeting, whatever it might be. Inbound marketing means there's outside things that are going on that are creating general interest, that are having people reach out to you. I want more information. I want the guide. I want to talk to somebody. Remember, inbound marketing is where you want to take your business. There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and have a bunch of leads in your inbox, having communication already started. But in order to get to inbound, we have to build that up. So your partners have to start with outbound marketing. And we talk about the fact that in those inner markets, the warm market, the common market, it's a lot easier to have the communication and activity through mission-based conversations. Why am I doing this? Can you help me? I need your help. I would like your opinion, and so on. It all boils down to activity. And like we talk about, without activity, nothing else happens. So you need to get in the habit of yourself, ourselves, and our partners, each and every day, making sure that we're out there speaking about our business, talking about our brand, talking about our business, but more importantly, talking about other people. Remember, in the beginning areas of the conversation, no one cares about our products or services, our benefits, our features. Only thing they care about is themselves. So once you understand that and you start developing that persona and going out and effectively communicating with people about problems they have or perceived problems, letting them know that you're the person to talk to, that you have solutions, you'll start having that pipeline of communication, and that leads to outcomes. So communication comes in a lot of different areas, but the one thing that we've really been concentrating on over the past months is learning how to communicate by asking questions. Remember, if you go in and you ask a bunch of questions and the other side is doing most of the talking, that's a perfect conversation. They're doing the talking, you're getting the information. At the right point, you can pivot into that conversation with the solution, with the action step, and everything that you're looking to do. But we talk about that pyramid, and in order to get there, you got to have rapport, trust, credibility, allows them to talk. That gives information. Information uncovers a problem. You have a solution and an action step for. You get there, and one of the easiest ways to really control a conversation is to ask questions. Get people talking. People love to talk about themselves. They love to give their opinions. And like I said, from that communication, you're going to uncover where you can fit in. Remember, the conversation flow is no matter who you're talking to, where are they now? Where is it they're trying to get to? How are they going to get there? What are they willing to do to get there? And how do you fit in? So the communication, you have to make sure, and this is so important, guys, because sometimes we're communicating, we're just assuming that the other side is understanding what we're saying. Communication in a simple form is the process of passing that information from the sender to the receiver and having them understand from one person to another through verbal or nonverbal means. So if you're sending out information in whatever form and it's being interpreted by the receiver in the wrong way, well, the information is flawed or the delivery is flawed or something's going on. You have to make sure, and this is why you go into those inner markets and test. Hey, does this make sense? I want your opinion about this. I created this. Will you look at this? Whatever it might be, because if the sender and the receiver are on the same plane and the information's flowing back and forth, guess what? We're going to get what we want out of this, either a disqualification or a qualification. And then your real tips to communicate, guys, you have to communicate relentlessly. And like I said, it's not just, for example, on the follow-up, we're not following up just for the sake of following up. And we're not following up just to dump truck a ton of information. We're following up to make sure that we resolve the lead, we lead to the next action step if they're willing to go, and then simplify and be direct. Remember, if you're asking somebody to go open the front door, you don't need 1,000 words around the command action. Tell them to go open the front door. Listen and encourage input. Remember, we're not talking at people, we're talking with people. And the more engagement you get, more information you're going to get, and the more opportunity you're able to assert yourself with the solution and the action step. We've been working on also illustrating through stories. Storytelling is a great way to get your information out without boring the other side and without putting the other side into a state of paralysis because they can't follow you. And then affirm with actions. At some point, an action step has to be taken. If you're not given the action step, the other side doesn't know what to do. If you're given the action step and they're unwilling to take it, guess what? You resolve the lead, disqualified. You need to understand that the more contacts you have, and this goes back to marketing and communication, the more contracts we're going to be able to turn out of the backside of that. If you have 0 contacts, I can guarantee you have 0 contracts. So the more people you talk to, and it gets easier when you start a new business and you don't know everything about your business, it's hard to talk about your business. If you're fearful, somebody might ask you a question you don't know, but understand that if you adopt what we're trying to tell you and just go out and be personal with people, ask them questions, figure out what they're trying to do, it becomes a lot easier. And you have to be disciplined in marketing because marketing requires, activity every single day. And that activity has to have intention with the action, and you have to have target objectives along the way. Just like if we were a professional basketball player, professional golf player, whatever it is, we have to be in the gym, we have to be at the driving range, we have to get enough reps each and every day to become good and then eventually master what we're trying to do. And in this case, marketing, once you master marketing, you become very good at it and you can teach other people, watch your organization start to blow up. And then we move on to sales. Sales is one of those things where we do not require you to take on a sales position. You can grow an outstanding business and continue to pass that along if you're willing to market and if you're willing to manage. You can have other people inside the organization handle this, but you have to realize sales is the revenue and income coming in. So without sales, nobody in this entire grid or assembly line gets paid. So this is a very important position that we have. It generates the revenue and income. We simplified the sales process through education. So no longer are we going on and we're pitching and we're selling, we're educating. So we're not selling people products and services. We're hopefully leading them through good education to solid buying decisions because that creates a solid client and that creates solid user-generated content about their experience, whether that be a testimonial, whether that be a referral, whatever it might be. Education leads what we have to do, but understand, just like on the marketing side, we have personas. In the sales side, we have personas too. So as an educator, I need to understand who is it that I work best with? Who do I think I can sit down with, help, generate revenue and income? And then that has to be relayed to the marketer. Once the marketer and the educator start working together and they understand what each one is looking for, if both sides start to make money off the relationship, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Each one will want to go more further along in that relationship with that person. If we're just throwing people against the wall because they agreed to check out an education meeting, you don't want to tire your sales staff and your educators out to the point where they go into these meetings with not the level of energy they need. It's all about relationships. And as a salesperson, as an educator, you have to understand, just like in that marketing pyramid, we have a sales pyramid too. And you have to focus on being able to help establish authority. Why should they be talking to you as the educator, as a salesperson? And then also, what is it they're trying to do? Where is it they're trying to get to? What is it they're trying to accomplish? Because what we do, the services, the products, it's all to get them to an end point. That end point is going to be unique and specific to them. If you don't have a motivating factor, if you don't have a why, you can't go forward, guys, because it doesn't matter how great what we do on our side is. They don't have a reason to take the action step. We have to have a why. We have to have a motivating factor, and we have to build that relationship because, like we talked about before, statistics tell us that if the sale is not made, a lot of the times it's coming from the fact that person on the front end, that salesperson, didn't do enough of a good job getting to know that potential client to the point they feel like they're comfortable with this person helping them resolve their issues. So focus on relationships and focus on helping people get what they're trying to get, because that, at the end of the day, is the motivating factor. So you identify the need. And then once we identify the need in the education or the sales process, now guess what we can do? we can lay out the requirements. If you're trying to get somewhere, now we can talk about how are we going to get there, what's required of you to get there, because once again, this is a disqualifying approach, because if we've identified the need and we set the requirements and they're not willing to do that, guess what? This need, they're not propelled or they're not motivated enough by that need to take the necessary action steps and requirements. Once we have the need and once we have the requirements, we present a solution. And as an educator, you have to present a solution in a clear, concise way that identifies where they are now and where they want to go and how this is going to get them there. And once you do, you got to be confident and you got to present in a persuasive way. You understand, once everything's identified, how you can help, how our products and features and benefits help, how the support that we offer helps. Be confident. Once you have the solution, be confident in the presentation of that solution. Words have power. I'm not talking about just what you say, I'm talking about also what you don't say. So both of those are important. And remember, don't be on a sales or an education meeting sounding needy or sounding like talking with commission breath, because you need to be calm. You need to be collective. And the people that you're talking to need to understand that the person they're talking to has it together. And what they're telling me makes sense. And what they're telling me to do makes sense to get me to that end goal. So be calm, collective, know when to inflect your voice, know when to be calm. And like I said, overall, don't sound needy looking for a sale. And then you also need to understand that objections aren't there to make you upset and get you mad and get the conversation off track. Most of the time, those objections are actually buying questions. So some of them aren't, but a lot of them are. And once you identify their buying questions, once you resolve those objections and you answer those buying questions, it's all just maneuvering around to get us to the end point. Somebody has a few objections and they're reasonable, and we work through each one, not on a platter, but one by one. Once I identified this objection and we've resolved that, I confirm it, I go to the next one. Once there's no more objections left, it should lead to the next action step, which is the sale. And then it's decision time. One of the things that we got to work on is, like I said, that presentation of the solution has to be done in a confident and persuasive way. But also when it's decision time, we have to ask for the decision. We have to ask for the sale. You got to close that deal. Marketers done their job. You've done most of your job. Everybody spent time, energy, resources into this person. It's time to close the deal. Look at this statistic, guys. 85% of interaction between sales representatives and potential buyers end without the representative ever asking for the sale. You've done your job, ask for the sale. And then if the sale is not there immediately, go back to figure out what is the determining factor of why we're not able to close the deal. And that goes back to the rebuttals, the objections, working back through those until there's nothing left. Go back and ask for the sale again. Don't stop asking for the sale. And then finally, if we've done a good job, the marketer has done their job, educators done their job, the sale's been made, at the appropriate time, we're going to come back in and we're going to try to continue that vein with referrals. And another very startling statistic, and we put this one up before, 91%, if you've done a good job, will give you referrals if asked. Only 11% will ask. So once again, on that follow-up to make sure the setup was done correctly or whatever it is, that's a great time to come back, make sure they're continuing to get value out of the relationship. Who do you know that you care about that needs to know about the information we relayed back to you? Ask for referrals, ask for the sale. If you don't, both the sale and the referral are not going to come. And then we move into management. Management is one of the most important parts of this, because now you're going from a relationship that's more one-on-one, working with a marketer, working with an educator or sales, to working with a branch office. And you got different personalities, you got different people coming in. So you have to be able to manage different types of people. And really managing people comes from really two perspectives, the way I see it. Number one is it's training. They're coming in, they're going to need training. Part of training is support. So along the way, they're going to get stuck. They're not going to know how to do something, those initial stages. And we also talk about bringing in a solid partner. If you're recruiting, that recruiting process goes well beyond the sign up. It's actually about 90 days after the business partner comes in. So you need to train and you need to support during that period of time, because they're going to become, from a dependent on you stage to an interdependent. And then once they become that, it's more about coaching, and that coaching aspects has a lot of mentoring to it. So you're training and support on the front end, so they've got past the learning curve. Then from that point, you're coaching and mentoring them to get them to a spot where they become independent. If you create independent agents that can, take care of tasks, that can manage additional offices, and watch your income explode. You got to make time for people as a manager. Now, if somebody's not doing anything, if somebody's not bringing anything to the table, you don't have to waste your time on that, because disqualification actually can continue past that point on the front end. So if somebody's not doing anything, they've got to do something. I can't create, and you can't create the activity on the front side for somebody. But if they are doing that, you need to make time, and you need to understand people are going to have a bunch of questions in the beginning. You're the type of manager that gets upset with questions. The branch office is not going to feel like they can come to you and ask the questions. When people don't ask questions, they don't get the answers, they start to drift. So make time for people as long as they deserve it. And you got to communicate openly with confidence and respect. So we're all entrepreneurs here. Nobody works for anybody else. So understand that is not a corporate structure. It was not mid-level, senior level management. We're all in together to help each other and to help our clients get to wherever it is we're trying to go. So make sure you communicate openly. Make sure that's an open forum inside your branch office. Show everybody respect, and make sure to build the confidence in each person individually. So collectively, that has a big ripple effect. You got to create a positive work environment. And so once again, just like, if we were working like a W-2 or salary job, if we hate going to work, we're probably going to end up quitting. Same thing here. If somebody hates being a part of the environment, the team, the branch, no matter how good they are, and no matter how much of a fast start they may get with activity and income, they're going to end up quitting. So a positive work environment is very, very, very important. People want to be part of something positive where they feel good on a day in, day out basis. And then we've got to create a culture of value. So we want to make sure that our clients and our customers are satisfied, that we have cultural diversity, that we have that positive environment, that we are demanding accountability from ourselves and our teammates, that we continue to innovate in the marketplace, that we all work as a team, and that we get the quality results for all parties involved in this business model. We also have to learn to delegate. So as your office gets bigger, you're going to have different roles that you didn't have in the beginning. You're going to have different issues, different problems, different obstacles and roadblocks you have to overcome. That means there's only so much time in the day. As your organization gets bigger, you need to delegate. When we talk about delegate, you have marketers, you have educators, you have salespeople. Make sure those people are at the right place at the right time. A manager is basically like an orchestra conductor, making sure, like I said, people are at the right place, the right time, the music sounds good, everything's going well. Learning how to delegate and learning how to build teams of people is a skill set that will make you very rich here. And you got to set goals. Like we said, if nobody understands what you want them to do, they're not going to get it done. So coming in, what are some initial goals that we have for our partners? What are some medium term? What are some longer term goals? Set goals and make sure they're, smart goals. Make sure that they're not so outlandish that somebody's not going to be able to come anywhere close to hitting these goals, but also make sure that they're not so small and shallow that hitting them is not a big deal. So help people set goals, and when they achieve those goals, be excited for them. And you got to understand the future looks different from today for yourself, for your business partners. So what is it, that vision of the future? You have to be able to paint that picture for your partners. Understand, this is where I'm trying to go. This is what I'm trying to do. This is who I need. And the people that follow me, this is what we're expecting on the backside. People who buy into your vision will come in and help create that into a reality. Your vision has to be clear, concise, and you have to be able to articulate it very well. And then finally, you're going to get to the distribution part. Remember, when you create distribution, distribution is king. So when you create distribution, you're in a position where your business has, built up. And now, even without your day-to-day activity, guess what? The business continues to go. you continue to get paid. All that work you did on the front side, now you're being rewarded on the back side because you're not as active, but the income continues to come in, grow, and most of it's passive. So on the distribution side, you actually become like a broker. You actually become a broker when you build one office or branch, but the real broker opportunity is to look around and see that I've got a portfolio of digital agencies across the country doing whatever, 5, 7, 10 people, 15 people in an office, whatever it might be. My job and my goal is to build a portfolio of digital agencies that I create, that I manage, that I set free, that are all doing very, very well. Yes, I have a business relationship with that office manager, probably have a personal relationship, but guess what? That front end work that I've done to help train, support, coach, mentor, set free, and they don't really need me anymore. In order to get there, then you have to understand you have to have a system in place. You can't just randomly expect, hyper growth. And if you don't have a system in place for that growth to stick or have an opportunity to be there for the long term. So if you have a system in place, when you do hit that rapid growth, it's absorbed in an orderly way, no matter which way that growth is coming from. If we look at point A, B, C, D here, that one coming in to the massive growth on that backside, everyone's getting the same experience. Everyone's getting the same information. Everyone's doing the same thing. That's systematic, and that creates duplication. And once you're duplicatable, and once you have that portfolio of digital agencies, and you look around, and I've got an office in California, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, and they're all doing the same thing, guess what? Now I know as that office builds out, they're doing the same exact thing. And no matter how big we grow, we're all under the same assembly line. We're all under the same, communication styles, management styles, and everything's flowing very well for us. And that's going to create, like I said, the 7-figure business that you're looking for. It's going to create an exit strategy for you. And you're going to bring a lot of people along the way with additional 6-figure businesses. They're going to be very, very happy they met you, they talked to you, and they came into your organization.